Yo, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to look at how the Clippers used a zone defense on Tuesday. The Clippers use zone about 20 times, and one of the preconceived notions with a zone is you just basically sit back and just kind of stay in your little bubble and all this stuff. But you can push up in a zone, just like here, Terrence Mann pushes up. If Ivica Zubac steps up on the screen, sometimes people think the big will sag back, but they really don't have to. When Tatum drives, Zubac is there to meet him. He forces a difficult shot, and the Clippers get a stop. Another part of the zone defense is denying things that an offense wants to do. Morris here boxes out against the screener and makes it so that T cannot get to the wing. Beverly helps as the pass comes back around to Pritchard up top. We're then going to see Tatum flash to the nail, which is what you have to do in a zone. But George is in the right spot to defend against that pass and get back out to Pritchard, who attempts a three-pointer right in front of George's face. Pritchard misses this, and the Clippers get the rebound to get another stop. This was the first mistake that the Clippers made in a zone, to be quite honest with everybody. Tatum's going to flash to the nail again, but there's no one here to deny him from getting the ball. So once the ball's entered, Beverly's going to dig down to help, and this kind of throws the defense into a little awkward situation. George gets caught at the elbow, doesn't close out to Pritchard. He needs to close out to Pritchard. It's a wide open three, and this is the kind of mistake that you can't make defensively. Acknowledging where the problems might come from defensively in his zone is another thing that constitutes good defense. George closes out against Pritchard, forcing him to put the ball on the floor. George is going to do also a really good job of keeping him from getting to the middle of the floor as a driver. Ibaka notices that Tatum's flaring out, so he goes to pick him up. George and Morris both shade over as helpers, deterring Tatum from a drive. Tatum then has to go into a step back three that Ibaka gives a solid to good contest on. This is a shot Tatum can make, but he misses here. But you can't finish a possession without a rebound. Morris does a good job boxing out Williams, and the Clippers get the board. This was an incredible defensive possession, especially by Patrick Beverly. Beverly's going to fight over the top of the screen, and Ibaka's showing a little bit high up, which he needs to be doing. Beverly's then going to come in on an amazing rear view contest and get the block of Kemba Walker, and then he's going to fight back around the top of another screen. This is just amazing dogged effort here. He then pokes the ball loose away from Kemba, and this forces Boston into probably their third or fourth option offensively. Morris closes out on Tice. Ball gets kicked to Pritchard, who goes into a step back three a little bit. Batum gets a decent contest. This is the shot that the Clippers will live with, especially against the zone, and they end up getting yet another stop out of this possession. This is what happens when the big is not high enough, even in a zone defense here. Beverly's going to get over the top of this screen. Ibaka is late to recognize this, and because of this, he's too low. He needs to be higher up. Kemba's going to come downhill off this screen, recognizes the open space he has, and he cashes this open three. In a zone, you need to be smart, hustle, and always be on a string defensively. Here, like in the previous possession, Kemba's going to come down on the screen, but Paul George is going to stunt at him. This forces Kemba to not pull up from three, and instead he's going to dribble out to the three-point line matched up against Ibaka. And he goes to drive, he gets the angle. However, Morris has a nice rotation here towards the baseline. This forces Walker to pass the ball. Beverly's going to go for the steal. He doesn't get it, but this forces Tatum to have to be ran off the three-point line. Morris does an excellent job rotating right in front of Tatum and forcing a tough floater by Jason Tatum. Playing great defensively against the screen in a zone is another way to force the offense into tougher shots, and we see that from Marcus Morris. He's going to ice this screen, which is forcing Tice to re-screen on the other side. This forces Boston away from what they want to do. When Walker comes off, Paul George does an excellent job of meeting him here at the point of attack, pushing him off of his spot, and Walker is forced into a very tough shot against both George and Ibaka, and the Clippers get another stop. We're going to see the good and the bad of a zone defense here, but it all turns out to be okay. The biggest thing in a zone to beat a zone is you need someone to step to the nail, basically the middle of the free throw line, which we see Daniel Tice do right here. He presents himself at the nail, he's going to get the ball, and he's going to take a mid-range shot contested by Serge Ibaka. This is the shot the Clippers want Boston to take. But Tristan Thompson's going to get to this offensive rebound because rebounding in a zone is really hard. However, notice what the Clippers do here. 4 players swarm Tristan Thompson, and Marcus Morris gets the block, and this is just great work. Playing great zone defense can even start in transition. Here, Reggie Jackson stops Pritchard's attempt to get in transition and into the fast break with a nice body bump, forces Pritchard off of his lane. Pritchard's going to try again, but Jackson walls him off again. This is excellent work, and this is going to force Boston to work against a set zone defense. Tremendous individual work by Reggie Jackson here, which is now going to flow into the team concept as Batum and Man switch on the weak side. This allows Batum to be the low man, rim protector, and rebounder. Jackson is shaded towards Tatum because it's a mismatch against Ibaka, forces him to give the ball up. Pritchard passes around the horn to Jaylen Brown in the corner. Decent contest by Man. Brown misses the shot, and the Clippers get a rebound off of great defense here. You can play great defense and still give up a made basket, and we're going to see that on this final play. George is trying to get over the top of the screen, but Terrence Mann does a smart thing here. He digs down, and by doing this, it forces Walker to give the ball up. This is not the first time we're going to see this on this final play. They're going to reset and go right into another screen. George once again gets over the top of the screen. It's going to force a pass to Pritchard. Pritchard is then going to attempt to drive against Terrence Mann here in isolation. As he drives, Zubac steps up. This is going to force a pass to Thompson. Batum's going to step up, contest this beautifully. Thompson makes this, but you can't fault the Clippers' defensive effort here. I'd like the zone look for them.